Yo, it's Phil. So, I would like to say that I've decided to just record a bunch of stuff, but I haven't decided that but here's another crack. It would be cool. I feel like I should write a book, but I don't know that I have it in me. So, I'm gonna try this video recording stuff because, as a younger person, who's like, oh yeah, I would totally fucking make a memoir if it was easy to do. Well, now it's easy to do, so I don't have an excuse. Alright, so I'm gonna try. There's a lot of cops in the park. And one car, two cops. Man, I hope there's not somebody in it. Because there might be. So I'd like to make a memoir of some of my early memories. Both for myself and for posterity, I guess. I don't have any posterity. Maybe someday. Or maybe just for myself, when I'm fucking old and even crazier, to look back at and remember or whatever. So I feel like one of my earliest memories is when my mom and Walter were together. There are a couple memories for that period. The one that is most clear to me is the communion thing, and I've told this story several times. People have heard me tell it. So after my mom and dad divorced, she remarried, or maybe didn't remarry. I don't know. There was, I guess, I have no idea. I honestly don't know from a legal standpoint, technically speaking, whether they were actually married or not. And I was too young to get into the details of. So Papa and G-Ma were okay, well, they weren't actually married. So Walter was a black guy. So maybe that's why Papa and G-Ma, I don't know if they refused to accept it out of their racial position stuff. I'm not trying to fucking put them on blast as racist, but they were not happy with my mom marrying a black dude. Or dating him, or thinking about marrying a black dude, whatever. We had lots of black friends. They were active in the church. Everybody was cool. There was no. They came to our house. We fed them dinner. Shit like that. They were adamant that the marriage was not legitimate. My mom was not adamant. I never really talked to her about it. Super young. Something about maybe her divorce with my dad wasn't final or some shit, or he was married. I don't know. Yeah. Story. Early memory. Communion. And so it's so vivid in my mind. I'm sitting on the couch, which is against the wall here, back. I have a good place to put this. Let's move. Let's go. Because I don't need to sit in my car for this anyhow. There's no reason. Keys. Drugs. Stuffs. Grabs things. Do the do's. Ah, man. Fucker. We're going to sell stuff at 8 a.m. So that's pretty fucking early. But I have to be doing things in the morning. So. Okay, I vividly remember the layouts. It's weird when I have memories about stuff that how I remember it. Where I think it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's normal. Maybe it's how everybody remembers shit. I got no idea. So fan. Okay, so look at the post-up stand thing. Stationary. What is going on here? Now, yeah, it's rubbers. Rubber underneath this. But that doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Almost. We're halfway there. How about this? This one? Oh, wait, I got two of these motherfuckers. Yeah, both with rubbers on the bottoms. Yeah. Yep, get up on it. Yeah, we're a fucking miserable failure today. Boom. Alright, perfect. Okay, great. Hey, that's my laundry. Okay, so, like, I remember stuff, like, a lot with layouts. So, sitting on the couch here, there's, like, a coffee table. There's a coffee table in front of us. Walter, my stepfather, maybe not my stepfather, I don't know, is sitting to the right, like, in the chair. My mom is, like, heading to the left. Like, the Mexican fucking stepbrother and stepsister that I had adopted, like, one was here next to me, and, like, one was, like, in the little coffee table thing. It was, like, man, I don't even remember these kids' names, dude. It was a pretty short period. One was here on the couch next to me, one was over here, mom was across the way, Walter was over here. Like, he always smelled like pipe smoke, like pipe tobacco. Like, he smoked a pipe, and which is why he smelled like pipe tobacco, obviously. Duh, like the fuck. Anyhow, he purported to be very religious, like that he was a preacher, that he was a minister, that he was like a like religious leader, person, whatever. Like, he sought leadership position in the church, whatever. At home, he was like, he was like the man is the head of the household, whatever. So we were doing communion at home. I don't know. I want maybe. I don't think it was like a Sunday where we were sick or whatever. It was just for whatever reason we were fucking doing communion at home. Like, I'm on the couch, kid, mom, dude. Let me talk a little bit more about the lab, because this is how I remember shit, which is fucking really weird to me, and I don't know if this is how other people remember stuff or not. So, like, this was the area, like, on the couch. Past the couch was a hallway. The hallway goes, like, back down that way. And the first door on the left, first door, maybe second door, I don't know. One of the doors on the left, like, I think it's the first door. Like, there might have been, like, a closet or some shit. First door on the left is the fucking bedrooms, where you go in and there's, like, bunk bed. Like, there were bunk beds, like, since we adopted these Mexican kids, like, bunk beds. First time I ever had bunk bed, it was kind of cool to me. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, hey, bunk beds, hey, neat. It's like a party, whatever. I don't know. And then, okay, so on the couch, hallway goes down here. Like, past that is like a, like, kitchen and living room area. Maybe I'm confusing this with Roy's house, because I feel like Roy's house was the same way. Like, there's like a couch, living area, door goes out that way. Like, there's like a bar that stretches out, and like, on the other side of the bar is the kitchen stuff, and there's like a little kitchen area, like a dinette, like table, like eating place over here. I'm confusing this with Roy's house, because I feel like his layout was like almost exactly the fucking same. Maybe that's why I was friends with Roy, because I don't know. I'm not sure. This is what I remember. Anyhow, relaying it as I recall it. So Walter was like, alright, doing communion, blah, blah, blah. Like, got the Bible. He was like, the point of this story is the first time that I ever had alcohol. Like, it's kind of like, and I remember it, like, still. It's a very early memory, because I think, I looked into it, I think they were married from the time that, like, I was, like, 2 3/4 to the time I was, like, 3 3/4. So this is, like, about a 3-year-old, as a 3-year-old memory. It's communion at church. I always loved communion. There was always grape juice, like, little plastic cups. They, like, pass out the wafer, like, at church for us. when it was communion time, which was like once a month or whatever. I never did figure out like the schedule, how they figured out if it was communion week or not. But first they would come around like with a plate, like with like wafer things on it. Sometimes like it's a broken corner, depending on like what church it was or whatever. It might be a broken corner of like a saltine cracker. It might be like one of these like weird, almost styrofoamy sort of like little fucking thing, like oval deals. It was like, I don't know, strange. Sometimes it was almost like a crouton, like crunchy, like piece of bread thing that was like broken. But then almost invariably, so there's the bread and the wine. Bread is the body and the wine is the blood. So, and I, especially like at Cornerstone or where Cornerstone, is that where we went at Cornerstone? I think that was it. Nobody used wine. They had like little plastic cups with like a half a shot of like grape juice in it, like red grape juice. I love fucking grape juice. Grape juice is amazing. Amazing. I love fucking grape juice. And so at church it was like, ooh, hey, ooh, yeah. Sometimes I would like get two or whatever. Anyhow, story being, we were having communion at the house. Walter was reading out of the Bible. They had broken stuff up. Like, I don't know if it was, I don't remember what it was. A chunk of a tortilla, a piece of a cracker. It was probably saltine crackers, most likely. Anyhow. So we started reading through the verses, whatever. And he says, this is my blood, which is shed for you. Take of it, like, whatever. The part where you, like, drink the grape juice / wine / the blood. The transubstantiation, all that stuff, like, this becomes the blood of Christ, which was shed for, like, everlasting life, whatever. So, yeah. So I drink it. And for whatever reason, at home, when we do communion, it's not grape juice, it's wine. I'd never had any kind of alcohol before. I had like, I was expecting grape juice, which I like, and I was like, yay, alright, I'll drink this. And it like, it was like a 3-year-old kid fucking drinking some wine. Like, basically like that, because that's exactly what it was. And so I snatched up the fucking, like, cracker and, like, ate it. The little chunk of saltine or whatever that had been broken off that was the body of Christ. And my stepfather, Walter, the guy, the minister dude, like, he was like, well, what are you doing? Like, that's, like, he hadn't read the scriptures that pertain to take of my body, like, wine is blood, cracker is body. I wasn't supposed to fucking eat the cracker until, like, he read the this is my body thing. And it was like a whole deal. Like, it was like a deal. Like, he was flustered. Mom was like, what? Let me get another. And so I think, I feel like I think we started, like, the whole shit over. Like, and redid, like, the whole communion. And when the wine came around, I just took, like, a little sip or whatever. But dude, I remember, like, I remember him, like, he was right here at my right with, like, the Bible in his hand and shit. And I'm, like, on the couch. And I drank it, and I was like, what? Not grape juice. Ate the cracker. And he was like, well, I didn't read the verses and blah, blah, blah. And like, this and that. And, so that's the memory of, like, I feel like that's about the earliest memory I have. Because Mom and Walter split when I was, like, 3 and something. I do remember, I mean, there's a lot of shit, like, behind the whole, like, Walter deal, like, so we adopted these, Miguel, and she had a, like, Valentine, no, it wasn't Valentine, it was, like, man, she had a name that was, very, very foreign to me. So my mom, after divorcing her and my dad divorced, she remarried this black guy that was very active in the church. They adopted a couple like Mexican kids. They were like my stepbrother and stepsister. They were like in the process of adopting them or whatever. Like, dude, this guy Walter like ended up fucking like abusing these kids. Like, I guess fucked them or like touched their junk or whatever. And like, mom found out about it. And I don't know the details. Like, she didn't know what to fucking do. Like, dude, she was, man, that poor fucking chick. Like, she was fucking trying to, like, find her way in a fucking world. Man, it makes me, I don't know. Anyhow, I remember our room, like, I don't think dude ever fucked with me. Like, I don't have any recollection of dude ever fucking with me. Seems fucking really weird to me that he would, like, abuse these fucking other two children and, like, not fucking abuse me, but, like, I don't have any recollection of it. But I do, I remember the room and, like, the bunk beds, and I remember, like, I remember talking about nightmares or something, like, with those kids, like. But the thing with the communion, like, that's really about the clear, it is, it's not about it is the clearest memory that I have from, like, that period. I remember one time, like, being Papa and G-Ma's house, like, over by where the organ was, like, if you come in the foyer, like, the piano's on the right, like, the main, like, living area's over here, like, not the main living area, the nice living area is over here, and the organ was in the transition between the nice living room and, like, the main living room, and, like, I remember standing there once, and, like, having a conversation with Papa and G-Ma about, like, I don't know if it was Papa or Jima or both, about, like, I think it was both, about, like, being equally yoked and, like, what it meant to be, like, what their objections were to her being with Walter, and, like, really, it was, like, 3-year-old me, like, talking about, like, racism and, like, and it wasn't, like, dude, it stuck with, even now, like, it wasn't a racism objection that they had, like, they did talk about equally yoked, and they did, like, I feel like that was, like, within the context of like, the context was that, like, white people should marry white people and black people should marry black people, but it wasn't, like, and it sounds bad, that wasn't, either way, turns out they were fucking right, because the dude was a fucking, like, child-touching fucking pedophile, like, that ended up, like, fucking my mom over, like, fucking fucking a bunch of shit over, like, really bad, fucking these fucking Mexican stepbrother and stepsister that had over, like, really bad, like, maybe, like, fucking literally, like, fucking them, like, over the fucking sink and over the fucking coffee table and over the fucking couch that, like, I took that fucking first communion on, that I fucking remember, and, like, had my first booze. And it's kind of an open question as to, like, what type of influence. Like, maybe if Papa and Jima hadn't been against it, like, maybe Mom wouldn't have fucking liked black dick so much. Like, but maybe some other white guy would have been just as fucking kid touchery. Who fucking knows? They're like 10 and 12. Like, no. They're like 8 and 10. They were both older than I was. Maybe that's why they didn't fuck with me, because I was like fucking 3 years old. Like, they were old enough to, like, put your dick in without fucking ripping them in half, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if he fucked them. I think he just like, I guess my understanding has always been like he just like molested them, touched them. I don't know where I got that understanding from. I don't think it's substantiated by any fucking facts that I know. For all I know, he was fucking banging shit out of him. I don't know. There's a boy and a girl, a brother and sister. Melinda? I don't know. What names are, man? So mom found out about it and wrote a letter to her pastor. She's like, hey, what the fuck do I do? Like, I married this guy, like, I'm in love with this guy, like, I'm married, we fucking adopt these kids, and I think this is going on, or whatever. Later in life, like, as she was dying, she told me. Even before. Like, after her stroke, in the waning years of her life, not on her deathbed, but in the waning years of her life, she said, never write down anything you don't want people. Fuck, I was still in Denton. I was in Denton, and like I called like, oh, man. I think I started asking her about that shit. Like, man, I was so fucking twisted off. As while I was living in Denton. I was like, hey, so, what the fuck? Did I think, no, I think she just started volunteering. One of the things she said that stuck with me is that this is coming from, like, my live right ass mother. Like, don't write anything down. Once it's written down, once you've signed it, it's the same as don't fucking take pictures. As don't broadcast yourself. She wrote down a letter to her pastor. Sent a letter to the pastor. The pastor like tried to fucking like counsel her, blah blah blah, whatever shit happened. Like fucking CPS got involved, fucking cops got involved. Like they started fucking looking at shit. They went to the pastor and they were like, "Hey, what do you know about this?" Yeah, we heard some fucking like adoptee kids are fucking like getting fucking molested or whatever. And he's like, "Oh," they're like, "Well, we've got a fucking warrant." And he's like, "Well, I mean, I did get this letter. Yeah, this is like what this person knows." And they're like, seeking fucking resolution, like through your church, like talking to your fucking spiritual religious leader about like what to do about your husband that's fucking molesting your stepchildren. Well, I absolutely appreciate the fucking not wanting to go to the fucking cops. Like, God, I love my mom so much. Shoot. Like, anything was like, she wanted to fix the shit, like, I mean, I guess it can be interpreted as shitty. Like, I guess by the state, it's interpreted as the wrong thing to do. Like, trying to find, like, a way to fucking, like, make things better without just getting this fucking dude just, like, straight locked up. Like, she should have just gone and had the dude just be fucking straight locked up is what she fucking should have done. Anyhow, she did not. She wrote a letter. She wrote a letter to her pastor, to her fucking, like, whoever it was, and, like, things went downhill. She got in trouble, and, you know, blamed as like an accessory or whatever. Dude, it's not my mom's fucking deal. Like, she didn't fuck with them kids. She will go fucking along with like a lot of stuff, or she would go along with a lot of stuff. And look for like, I mean, a way that fucking makes you better. Next time, or another time, I will tell the story about like the fucking foster home that they took me to when they found out about like when shit hit the fan, like when fucking like Walter went to jail and like mom got fucking arrested and like put on probation and like fucking cops came and snatched me up from my fucking grandparents and like dragged me out the fucking front door and like, well, I mean, it's a pretty short fucking story. Shit went down with Walter, like all that shit happened. Cops found out, like, they were like, you were covering for him, whatever, like, put some charges on or what, there was some court business, whatever, something, sent me to my grandparents, stayed with Pop and Gino, like, the cops fucking came over, like, I remember them fucking, like, sitting in the driveway, them bitches, from fucking day one, from the fucking time I was fucking like 4 years old, you fucking police didn't fucking take me without a goddamn fight. They had to fucking open both the goddamn fucking front doors because I was like fucking snagging on that bitch. They're like, oh, come on, you're going with us, you gotta go. And I'm like fucking dangling fucking like feet and shit. And like, they were like, you need to stop. I was like, fuck off, fuck off. They had, Pop and Gmo's house had like double doors.